Hey y'all, it's your girl Tara. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing this Monday? So it is 9:57 a.m. and look y'all, hey, my watch, okay? I got a band. That is a story, y'all. That is that is a Tara moment. You know, I don't like to say it was a blonde moment. I like to say it was a Tara moment. I'll tell y'all about that later. It was a big Tara moment. But anyway, so this My Money Monday is not necessarily going to go over my prior paycheck budget. It's not going to go over my November budget, nor is it going to go over my expenses. I'm trying to kind of rework some stuff in regards to how I'm going to present things, and I'm trying to get out of saving challenge mode some to also work in how I'm going to start presenting some of these things to you. It's probably going to most definitely come on Mondays, but I'm trying to figure out an order in which how I'm going to present this, because I might not even do like my paycheck stuff anymore, because it's basically the same. But I would like to update you guys on my expenses and things like that I'm doing. But okay, this may be a repeat video for some of y'all. 41 people watched my prior video or started the prior video. And it was last Thursday. I ended up taking it off, and because I just felt that I may have said something in there that some people didn't like. So I said, okay, let me just redo it. I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. Sometimes, you know, I just get to talking as you see, and it's just my thoughts, how I feel, because how things go politically do actually move the market, you know, and sometimes to the benefit of my stocks. So I said, okay, let me try and take a different approach. So with that said, I'm going to put a disclaimer on here. I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving you financial information. You always should do your own research and go out into this lovely world, find yourself an advisor or, you know, whatever it is you feel comfortable with. These are just my opinions and thought processes and what I'm doing based upon the information I have researched, the people I have listened to, and so on and so forth. So no financial information given here. All right. We're first going to start with the rest of the year. The rest of the year, this part up here, don't worry about that. When it comes to my money, it's Monday. And on Mondays, we talk about what? My money. Welcome to My Money Monday. There you go. I didn't say that. Anyway, spare change. What I did here was I said, okay, what do I need to do? I just want to get done with some of these this month in November. And so, pardon me, this is not going to be done. Spare change and $2 a day is not going to be done, but I am going to go ahead sometime this week and stuff these things. And what do you call them? I'm going to go ahead and stuff them. So I'm going to do spare change. I'm going to do $2 a day. I might end up doing this like next Tuesday, showing it to you guys on the Tiny Tuesdays, because that's what spare change is. But I don't know. I may actually end up just stuffing it behind the scenes. Same thing with Saving Butterfly. Saving Butterfly was like, what was I supposed to save, y'all? I was supposed to save, for Saving Butterfly, I think it was $1,700 for the remainder of the year. I was like, nah, I'm taking that down to $600. So I've already gone through the book. I have, what do you call that? I've gone through the book and I've updated kind of like what I'm going to do. So yes, I'm going to show you just real quick. So what I decided, I'm sorry, this is something y'all don't need to see that, because I might do it, I might not do it. So once again, I was supposed to do $1,700. I said to finish out. And when I say finish, not the whole book, because that's a lot of money in here. Finish out the things I want done and complete. It's going to take $600. So basically what that is an extra $175 on this. That'll put me at $500 for an emergency fund for my car maintenance, okay, for additional $500, okay? So then I'm come over to 12 months. 12 months is going to get $150. I didn't put anything in October, and I'm only doing like half for each month. So it looks like it's $100 for that month, $100 for November, and well, $75 for December to complete December. So I might either leave it with $75 or, $25, or I might just go ahead and complete it all. No, I'm only going to do 50 each, 150. There you go. All right. So days of saving. What did I say? Days of saving. I'm not doing anything else in days of saving. I put my last $3 in there this past month and it's over. I'm not saving anything else in here. It's just really, it's a lot to save. It's not, because I can do my own thing. It has to do with the no spends and stuff and a little bit of extra money. You know, it's like, hey, let's save $100 in, 31 days, stuff like that. That's really nice, but my plan is for other stuff, and I'm just not going to do that. Oh, so many savings. I'm done. After I finish this out, I just have $24 more left on this row. That's it. I ended up putting $10 in this past month. So $24 is left. Now, this is the one that I'm going to keep rolling forward. I have whatever I can put in here. We'll just say that. I have like whatever. So I can put 150. That's where I'm going for, is $150 in order to get me a little past the, it'll get me here. So that means I spend about $50 every 2 weeks. And so we're just going to say like every 2 weeks is twice a month. So we'll just say for each month. So this is like 2 cars. 2 cars is 1 month. So that's 1 month, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 5. That'll be 6. 6 months. It'll get me through the first half of the year. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. So that's 150. And if I can save more as I go, I'm going to. I think I'm just going to carry. This will probably be the only one I carry all the way out through 2026 to the end, because I just always want to stay ahead on the gas. Okay. And then I'm going to put an extra $100 in here just to kind of finish this up, because this is self-care. I do want this to go into my self-care sinking fund. So most definitely I want to save it. So altogether, I don't know, it'll be, I don't have that much saved up now. So, it'll be like 175, a little close to 200, but that's 200 I wouldn't have had, And then for the holidays back here, whatever I save, I decided for this year, whatever I have saved into my seasonal savings, which, for example, my Falling for Fridays that I'm doing, I'm going to save that into occasions. If I haven't already designated for something, which I have, like the auto, I have designated that's going to auto. Anything else that I've done, and I thank the community for all these great freebies that I use to save up, I'm going to put it towards occasions, and I'm going to get that up to a certain amount. And then I'll probably won't be saving for next year, because once again, my goal is retirement. Plus, I'm not sure how things are going to go here in the U.S. I don't want to say the world, because people keep saying the world is, no, it's the U.S. The U.S. is a hot mess right now. Stop blaming the rest. Stop saying the rest of the world is, because it's the U.S. right now. Okay, let's get that clear. The U.S. is having some problems. All right, so there we go with that. That's my money plan for that. I know I shot through that real quick, y'all, because I was just trying to hurry up. So now the next thing, the thing that I do want to talk to you about that the disclaimer's for, is I was looking at my retirement. And in looking at my retirement, I was actually looking at the balances, not the balances. I was actually looking at the assets in those accounts. And my goal for that right now is I am looking, what do I have? Where are they? And what needs to kind of be rebalanced? Right now, I'm just looking at the assets themselves, not the balances. We won't do that on here. That's going to be off to the side for me. And my goal right now is 30% for foundational, 30% for income, and then 40% for risk. Okay. That's what I plan on doing. Jessica's in the background, y'all. Jessica's in the background. She's solving murders, and in one of the, well, now she's in New York in this one, but when she was over there in Cabot Cove, I'm gonna tell you what, it's like midsummer's, like the little smallest town ever, but all this murder goes on. Just anyway. Anyhow, so let's go ahead, let's get started. So I have 4 accounts, 403B, a 401k. So this is my current retirement. Okay, this is my current position. And it sucks because everywhere I go, I am going to, open up something. But, if my plan is to move from where I am, I have to move to a job that pays a little more and has a better retirement, because there is no match for this. I don't know how that's going to go forward in the future with other companies, but right now I have no match for mine. So this is all my money I'm putting in here. And I would like to get someone else's money in there too. But it just depends. It just depends. Once again, like I said, my goal is to move to another company. But you know what? If that doesn't happen, it's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not, because even the income's not good. I could be making more money than I am. So I got to make some decisions. But anyway, so I have 403B. I have a 401k. This is from my old job. I'm eventually going to roll it into my IRA. So this eventually is going to get rolled into the IRA if I can. If not, it's going to get rolled up into the 403B. But the first go is to roll it into the IRA. My first choice. It just depends on what the tax implications on that are going to be. And so then I have the IRA, and then I have my brokerage account. My brokerage account is a tax-bearing account, so I pay taxes on dividends right now, but not on any, capital gains or losses, or, you know, get benefits from losses unless I sell stuff. Okay. So here we go. When I did this, I sat down and I said, okay, what do I have in these accounts? What's going on? And how did I classify my stuff? This is something that I did, and I think this is great because people tend to just put money into their accounts and then they just leave them. They just leave the accounts alone. They don't go back to them. They have people managing their stuff. They're believing they're doing good when they actually can do better. I feel like everybody should be an active participant in their own retirement. You should always be an active participant in your own retirement. Where did it go? Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. All right, so for this one here, for my first account, and this is my 403B. I have Vanguard. I have the Vanguard 500 index. You'll see a lot of and foundational growth. You just sit it, you let there. That's like, yeah, you just let it sit there. It's not saying that it doesn't have some investments or, I mean, not investments, reinvestment going into it or anything like that. It's just that the goal for this is growth, okay? So I have that. I have bonds in here. And I have a self-managed account that I do with Schwab. And that has SwapX in it. And it has SNFX. And I have a comparison now up of 4 ETFs, but I am going to also do this on these mutual funds. These are mutual funds. I'm going to do that on these two because I think the last time I did it, which was on the airplane when I was going on vacation, these basically are the same thing. And I don't want the same thing in the account when I can just go ahead and get rid of one and just, you know, buy into another one. So once again, these are something, what do you call that? I just said it. Bless my heart. I was going to say my mortgage, my mutual funds. Or something that I take a look at and I'm like, you know, you put money into it. It's that steady go with the flow type of situation. Actually, all of these can be if, you know, you just put in the right thing. All right, so income for here. I have no income and I am going to do this because remember I said, hey, I'm supposed to have 30% income. That's what I want in all of my accounts is just exactly what I have. So there's no income in there at all. No income performing assets. Now over here are my international ones. I have 2 international markets. So I have international total markets. Okay, one is Vanguard. And the other one is the Hartford Schroeder. This is actually something a little different. The Hartford Schroeder. So I'm taking a real chance on this one because this one is, the Vanguard is a total market, a lot of the top industries, whereas this one, I can't remember, but it's a different industry. And the reason why it's over here in risk is because for us in the U.S., anything outside of the U.S. is supposed to be considered a risk. So I just put it over there because we don't understand or we don't really know how those foreign markets are going. You know, they fluctuate. We're able to better, especially for these here, we're able to, or, you know, the analysts and all that, they're better at doing the ones in the U.S., the ones that do monitor the overseas markets. I'm not looking at them, blah, 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 whatever. So that's why it's a risk. All right, so that's that one. So the next one is going to be the 401k. And the 401k is just Fidelity. So everything in there is Fidelity. And this is the one this is the one where I did the split. The problem with that is when I actually looked at how it was split, I was like, oh, that's not what I thought it was. So, so we have Fidelity Growth. I have Fidelity Equity. Okay, and I have Fidelity Total. All right, so then I come down here to the IRA, and that one, This one, I call this my pandemic baby. This is where I had invested my money into specific ones during the pandemic, and I'm just not getting rid of them. And so I want to call these my legacies, and my legacies go over here. All right, so these are my legacies. I invested more into IVV, okay, and then we have Boeing, Apple, okay, Delta. I know y'all like Delta. Yeah, Delta Airline, y'all. Delta Airline. Don't sleep on it. Well, I didn't sleep on it. I'll say that. All right. And Walmart. So those were my legacy, guys, okay? This one here, it's an ETF. And these here are stocks. All right. Okay. So then on top of that, I have XLV, which is not a legacy, but it's a stock. So this is a healthcare ETF. All right, so then I have SCHD, that goes there. And for my risk, I have SPMO, okay? And, it's not two P's, it's one. I'm sorry, SPMO. And then I also have ITA. This is the one where I think I offended some people and I lost some subscribers. So I was like, you know what? Let me just play nice, because I don't be playing nice a lot. So I said, I'll play nice. And I won't mention what I want to mention about that, but it was a great buy. And I got that off of an associate. And, you know, the comments they made were spot on. So this one is, it's a defense fund ETF. So why did I circle that? Because my crazy stuff. It's an ETF. It's not a stock. So I shouldn't have did that. But and this one is too. I don't know why I did that. These are stocks. That's an ETF as well. But this is a defense fund, and yeah, so it's doing well from compared to when I brought it to where it is now. Bought it and where it is now. I bought it when it was low, and then it shot up. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so my last one here. My last one is the brokerage account, and in the brokerage account, this is where I started doing some comparisons on some things. All right, so I have in this one SNFX. And then I also have the SwapX. Why did I put SNFX? Is that what it is supposed to be? Yeah, it is. I left some letters up here. SNXF. I forgot the X up here. I'm sorry. And SwapX. Okay. So these are my mutual funds. Mutual. Okay, and so then I have, it's not SPLG anymore. They changed it. It's SPYM, is it? Let me see. SPYM. It's SPYM now. SPYM, former SPLG. God, people was ready to tell you, oh, it's SPYM now. Everybody's saying something. Okay, all right, y'all, slow down. Slow down, y'all. We know. Okay, we know. All right, and so then SCHG. These are my foundational ones. Then, let's see, we have our stock, which is Intel, and also Cisco. I originally had Intel long ago. I bought it for, man, y'all, I bought it for $40-something a couple of years back. It tanked down into the 20s, stayed there forever. I was like, I just got to take a loss on this. And so by the time I sold it, I was down to like fraction of a share because I'm in a big brokerage. And then all of that stuff occurred where, you know, the announcements came about what is going on and what's, I have to be selective about this, but how I'm going to say, but the announcements came, who's investing into it, what's going on. And so I bought it at the bottom again, and I'm just kind of holding on to it to see what's going to happen. Buying it at the bottom, it can only go up a little bit and I still make a gain, so I'm okay with that. But my goal is for growth, because there's been a lot of investment into it in regards to what do you call that, AI, technology, all that other stuff, and just kind of seeing where that's going to go. And I actually might make this the Intel hit to a point, or set a sell amount or target amount, and then just sell it. So we'll see. I think I'm actually just going to set a target amount and then just sell it. All right, so we have SCHD over here, and we also have Rio and PG. That's Procter Gamble. Procter Gamble and Rio are stocks. And Rio, for Rio, it's a gold stock, and it's really, the whole thing about this is the dividend that they paid out. The great thing about this is having enough shares so that every time they have a dividend, it actually creates another share. They do a dividend twice a year, so twice a year there's a share. Okay, the same goal was for P&G, but I'm going to be selling P&G though, because I'm just going to be selling it. All right, so SPMO is for risk. Targa, same thing. As soon as I have to set it again. That Targa is a stock. So is Kroger. Kroger's a risk because it's a vanity purchase, and it can go anyway, and I was hanging on to it for vain reasons. Same thing with Love, which is Southwest Airline, but I ended up selling that stock just so I could invest in something else. That was my goal. So let's see. So Targa is commodities, and I'm setting that for a target amount. That way, when it hits that target amount come probably late winter, I'm going to sell it so I can reinvest in something else. You know, it's down right now, but it comes back up. I got it at a lot lower. I got it lower. I got it good. But I just want to go ahead and take my long-term gain and invest it in something else. So yeah, guys, that's what I did. I looked at this and I said, okay, this is what I have. My next step is to do the following. For me, my next steps are to, let me see, because I actually did something else. And what I did was I took this and same heading, but then I did what's stock, what's ETF, what's mutual funds, what's bonds, okay? Just to kind of look at, just to look at it in a different way, like what is the total in stocks that I have, the total in ETFs, and the total in mutual funds. So my next thing on here, because I actually did this once again, I was on the plane doing a lot. Yeah, I had a lot of time on the plane. I know I annoyed people at night with the light, and I don't care. So I want to create for me an asset allocation that is based on a type of asset. And then I am going to do the dollar amount. And once I identify the dollar amount, I need to verify the allocation is in agreement with what I want. With my goal distribution. And so I have to figure out where I'm going to be making the change, because of course it's all here where it's easier. Well, obviously this wasn't, because I didn't do a good job of that. This one's one of those that's easier. I just went in 30, 30, 40. That's just what I did. I was supposed to do the same thing here, so I kind of have to go back and take a look at it. And what I can do is if I do it this other way, and I'll show y'all how I did it over in this piece of paper, where it's like stock, ETF, mutual funds, growth, income, and risk. And so let's say I do the dollar amount, because I am going to do it this way as well. then I can say possibly, if it gives me what I want in that particular sector, I may just leave it alone. But I do have to decide, do I want to continue to manage these stocks separately? Because I'm the one that has to keep an eye on these that are in these particular, what do you call that? In those particular accounts. I'm the one that has to keep an eye on the stocks. And that's what I have to remember, is I have to keep an eye on those stocks. So that's pretty much about it, guys. That's my Money Monday. I just kind of wanted to go over that with you all. Wanted to let y'all know what I was doing with my savings for this month. The ones that I said I was going to do, I may not show those. I may just go ahead and do the stuffing, and you'll see it like when I do my month-end sinking funds for the month of November. I am currently working on counting out. I don't know if I'm going to do that in a video or if I'm just going to do it on my own. I was going to say, oh, I'll do a live, but that's just too long, y'all. But I am working on October and finishing out. I do my banks because I just want to make sure what I have in my sinking funds, and then also whatever cash is on hand. And I think this is awesome because I've reduced it. If we look at September, I've reduced it from 3 pages down to 2. And technically it's 1 if I didn't take a look at the things that are going on in the bank. Shorty, what you drink. All right, guys. I want to thank y'all for sticking around. I want to thank you guys for being here to see what I have to offer. Don't forget, y'all, what do I always say? If you like this type of content, what do? Comment below. What else you going to do? Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, and I'm going to see you in my next video. What I do want to say is, don't forget, guys, I just have a suggestion, and once again, this is not something that you can take to heart. Something, just to consider is, like, us as individuals, we should always be looking at our, it doesn't have to be monthly, it doesn't have to be daily. Mine is a little different right now because I am working on, like, really refiguring my retirement. But just at least know what's going on in your retirement account. Just don't leave it out there. A lot of us, this is all we have. We don't have other assets outside of this, and this is going to be the main thing to grow us. And so we just got to make sure that we're in agreement with what we have going on. All right, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Toodles.